Primero que todo, yo pienso que la mariposa significa un tesoro encontrado, un tesoro invaluable, que es muy frágil. Aunque sabemos que las mariposas son muy fuertes, ¿verdad? Porque nos han enseñado todo lo que pueden hacer, ¿verdad? Para mí son como mis hijos, seriamente. Cada vez que pasan yo les hablo, ¿ves? Como una loca. Les digo que tengan cuidado con los carros, que tengan cuidado con los pájaros, que lleguen allá sanas y salvas. Y cuando vienen igual, oh, ya llegaron, ¿cuánto sufrirían allá? Aquí está lo que ustedes necesitan, ¿verdad? Está limpio, no tiene venenos, no tiene nada dañino para ustedes. Aquí está, bienvenidas, ahora sigan su camino. O sea, ayudarles a vivir como todos necesitamos ayudar a uno al otro a vivir, ¿no?
Well, most people find butterflies, and the monarch in particular, very, very peaceful and endearing. Because it's not hostile and it's a part of the world that you can identify with, even if you can't follow it on its migration down to Mexico.
For a lot of people, a butterfly is the first time they've had an up-close and personal experience with a live animal. You can promote the life cycles of a lot of different animals, both the butterflies themselves and also the things that feed on them. And there are other animals that feed on these same plants that the butterflies nectar on. So it's this really complicated web of life that supports some things we see, most things we don't see.
Whatever's good for a monarch is typically good for everything else. It's a personal mission for me to get people to interact with them. It's a personal mission for me to, get the future generations, all of my teen volunteers, all of my adult volunteers involved with them, so they can teach, their children, grandchildren, friends, whole circle of people they're connected to, that this is an important animal. So that human interaction is just as important as the animal interaction.
Las caritas de asombro de los niños, el haber sembrado algo en ellos, porque ya de esos niños hace 20 y tantos años ya son profesionistas.
I had a professor when I was at the University of Minnesota who said something very simple in class. He said the only way to reverse the negative impacts of habitat fragmentation and destruction is through habitat restoration. And a light bulb went off in my head, and I said, that's what I'm going to do.
I mean, I can understand it intellectually as a scientist with little boxes and arrows and numbers and the flow of energy. And it takes something much more concrete and real and visceral. And butterflies are very good at doing that.
It's a common denominator between our countries, and it just gives us something to hold on to that keeps us together. I think it's very important.
Having a connected corridor where there's access to water, milkweed, and nectar plants, especially in the spring with the milkweed, is important.
But the fact that they cross all these borders, in so many ways, spiritually, geographically, biologically.
Because we all have a life cycle. We all have a life cycle. We all go through the growing period, the growing stages, and we all sometimes go through the dark stages, which would be like when it's in its little chrysalis.
And then when you think about any life form like that, like embryo to baby to teenager to adult to old person, it's really just, it's so accessible, I think, in understanding so many of the problems we face.
Looking at something like a monarch butterfly can help people identify with. It's a way for people to understand that other forms of life on the planet exist, and kind of bind us all together. I mean, getting a little kind of metaphysical here and spiritual, but if that's what it takes, that's what works.
Folks in Mexico, in the United States, folks in Canada, we're all connected by. Because we are all interconnected, we can make a difference. And it takes one person making a difference to affect the folks around you. If everybody gets involved, there's a lot of room for involvement. I know a lot of people are looking for things, like wanting to make a difference in this world.
Yeah, slow changes, but that's all it takes, Slow changes, educate people. As soon as people they see that first caterpillar, that's it. They're ready to do more, so you can't help but not want to help and want to do it and want to be a part of it.
We need people. We need monarch people. We need more monarch lovers. We need more butterfly lovers.
So yeah, we are all butterflies. It doesn't matter how you really look at it. We really are all butterflies because we all go through those changing stages, all those instars. We all go through our dark moment, and we all come out beautiful butterflies.